How's it going, guys? We're going to be looking at a new system I got today. It's the Intellivision from Mattel Electronics, the Intelligent Television. This thing's fresh from 1979 when it was first sort of pre-production released. Then came out mainstream sort of 1980 and sort of hit Europe around about 82. I think it's got really great looks, real classic sort of 70s, 80s kind of look to it. The statutory brown plastic surround. Then we've also got the kind of cool sort of metal, sort of brass finish to it as well, which is sort of goldy, but again in the right kind of light. Kind of looks a bit sort of orangey pinky as well. And then nothing says more quality than a console than a little bit of teak wood grain dash. So yeah, this baby's got it going on in the looks department. I think it's a really good looking console. Again, quick look over the system itself. Pretty basic. You've got your power supply inside. Then we've just got our standard sort of power lead. Got our sort of TV port there. Bit different. Instead of most consoles having the cartridge port on top, Intellivision did have it actually on the end of the console itself. So that was quite different at the time. Then on the front there, we've just got our sort of standard reset button and just our on and off switch as well. Control pads, they were basically built in and on wires. These things look cool now, but I've got them out once and they are an absolute bitch to get in and out of. The cables basically tuck into the middle here when we pull them out, and getting them back in when they've come out is an absolute pig. You would have thought there would have been a big sort of hole where they just sort of slide in, but you have to tuck them right in, and there's not enough room for all the cable really, so it's a real mission to get them in. So have a quick look at the controllers themselves. Basically quite like a telephone on a telephone cable, but actually more advanced than pretty much telephones actually when this thing was made. So maybe this was actually a trendsetter for phones. So pretty much, yeah, you sort of 1 to 9 keypad and a 0. You got your clear and your enter button there. Then we've also got our sort of a bit like an iPod jog dial, sort of on the front there. Now this thing did go, I think it was the first sort of 16 directional pad, so it was sort of innovative at the time. We've also got our fire buttons sort of on the sides, 1 and 2s. So again, both controllers exactly the same. So have a quick look at a couple of games and I'll show you sort of some of the inlays that go with the controllers themselves. I've got a couple of games with this, so a couple to start with. Soccer. And again, inside there, these are all sort of paper boxes. You got your little Intellivision sort of instruction manual. Then you've also got your little soccer inlay for each of the sort of joypads, and the cartridge itself, which quite like a sort of 2600 cartridge, really pretty plain. Again, sort of matching brown plastic to go with the console though, so kind of cool. And then we've just got our name of games on each of the ends. And I also got Armour Battle as well, which is kind of like a tank game. We have to sort of control a few tanks, and again everything all in there as well. And I got this thing at a really good price. I think it was about, how much did I get it for? £13. So I think that was really cool with both of the games. So really, I think it's a really good value. So have a quick look at the joypads again. So to use some of the games, basically you'd use the actual numerical pad sort of as sort of extra buttons in the game. So each one of these, with each game, you've got a little sort of inlay that slides down here and over, slide it in. Okay, and then we'll save for the soccer one as well. If we can get it in. Okay. So again, these came with each of the games. So just to basically show you, so you're using your jog dial there in the tank game to aim, switch tanks. You press the big star there, which is probably like number 8. Then you've got a lay mine, which is probably button 2. And then it shows you the shoot and forwards are on the sides there. And again for soccer, we've got medium fast, medium or slow buttons there, and then it tells you on the side you've got shoot and pass, and again moving your player as well. So kind of cool. Gives the system a nice bit of colour, and again sort of breaks it up a little bit rather than just the keypad. I think it's quite a nice little touch. Again, a bit like sort of a Vectrex overlay. That same kind of style of thing. So yeah, pretty cool system really. Again, ran right from 1979, and then they pulled the plug on it in 1991. Sold over 3 million units. I think it was about 125 games for this thing. So pretty cool system. Again, ported up against the Atari 2600, and they always boasted that it was a better system, better graphically, etc. Again, a few sort of innovations that it did have. It had the first sort of voice synthesizer for any game. A little sort of adapter that fits on into the cartridge port at the end there. The Intellivoice, which kind of sounds a bit like this.
Mattel Electronics presents Bomb Squad.
So yeah, basic, but back then it was an innovation to actually have speech in a game. So there's only 4 games actually made with the Intellivoice, but yeah, still a pretty cool thing. Okay, so we'll have a quick look at the games now, guys. Okay guys, this is Armour Battle on the Intellivision tank game. This is one of the first games that actually came out for the system. 2-player action. So basically the objective of the game is to destroy your opponent's tanks. You get 2 tanks, basically one going, moving around, and the other one stationary, and then you sort of change over tanks or if the other one gets destroyed. So let's have a look and see what Atari was doing back in the day. So we had the combat cartridge on the Atari, which you can see is a lot more basic, although it did have the bendy bullets, which was a really cool feature. So the Intellivision itself, the games did look a hell of a lot better than the Atari. Again, on the tanks here, you can see the tanks have both got tracks, they've got gun turrets. Again, we've actually got backgrounds in here as well. Buildings, forests, there's lakes and rivers in this game as well. There's over sort of 200 different maps for this thing as well, so a lot bigger game than just the the regular sort of combat cartridge on the 2600. So if you guys are looking for an early system, I'd actually really recommend the Intellivision. Again, it's a bit different than just the bog standard sort of Atari 2600. Again, it has got the stunning brown plastic looks, and it does have the attractive wood grain finish, which definitely should go into one of the reasons why you should maybe buy one. But you get a lot of console for your money. Again, not a lot of cash. The games are cheap to pick up, so I really would recommend an Intellivision for your collection. This has been UK Retro Game Addict, and thanks for watching.